particular thing quickly. Because if I do not read a lot, then how would I come across different vocabulary? Because I have my own conventional ways. I don't simply follow the kind of trend that is in the market because.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So,
Okay,
shall we
how are
start?
you? Yeah, sure.
I'm good. So, can you tell me something about yourself?
Of course. First, thanks for giving me this lovely opportunity. Well, my name is Mansi Bajpayee, and I basically belong to Uttar Pradesh, Kanpur. Last year, I completed my Master of Arts, subject of English Literature from Dayanand Negru Mahavidyalaya, which is located in Kanpur University. And I am a teaching, and that's
So, what do you teach?
it. Of course, spoken language.
All right. So, let me introduce myself also. My name is Gaurav, as you already know that. I'm a teacher of English. I have been into this profession for almost 14 years. And when it comes to my hobbies, I like watching cricket and listening to music. These are my hobbies.
That's a good.
Thank you.
Okay. I would like to ask one question. As you mentioned me, you have been working since 14 years ago.
14, yes.
It's too much, very long time.
Yes.
So, what is your first step? How to teach a student? What is the first step? You are motivated that thing, yeah, you start teaching.
It's very difficult to motivate someone in the first class. So first motivation comes when somebody listens to you because they create certain image of the person that they are talking to or the person that they listen to. So whenever somebody comes to me, so I always try to make that particular experience even better. When somebody interacts with me, so I try to speak in a manner so that that person will try to think that I also want the kind of things that this person possess. So that's how I start, and I try to make that person more comfortable because I understand that sometimes when students come to me, so they are not that much open up or they have a lot of hesitation. So I listen to them first and I try to understand their level. So according to the level, so then I start teaching them.
Okay. So you teach spoken classes, yeah, literature, whatever.
I don't teach literature to be very honest because hardly I get students of literature. Whatever that they learn at my institute, so that helps them in their academics also and in professional front. So I try to give them knowledge regarding grammar, pronunciation, speaking, and other aspects of this language.
Okay, that mean the spoken classes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So, what is your first step? I mean to say, what do you conduct? Like that hobby, debate, speeches, grammar, vocabulary, what you focus most?
I have my own conventional ways. I don't simply follow the kind of trend that is in the market because when you find a student, you start speaking. So, first, I just listen to them. I try to give them basic knowledge so that they can stand somewhere, they can put their words into, they can make sentences, I must say that, or they can form sentences. So, once they understand the basic nitty gritties or these nuts and bolts of a language, then I proceed, and the people those who are capable of speaking, so I try to correct them when it is possible. So whenever they make any kind of mistakes, so I try to give them a helping hand by correcting them. So that's how the classes are being conducted.
Okay. So, there is no any schedule to want to provide.
I don't go for any fixed format because whatever the students that I get, so by just observing everything, so I just cater to their needs. If they have any specific interest in grammar or they want to go in the depth of it, so I give them extra classes on grammar and I try to make them correct while writing. So that's how I simply proceed. And we also speak, and I also make them read certain articles and other things so that I can check their reading skills because sometimes they are capable of speaking, but when they go to those offices that they want to join or when they go in their professional fields, so sometimes they might come across some kind of like a situation where they will be given certain papers or might be something to read. So if they are not able to read properly, so that will not be good for them. So I try to check their reading, plus I correct their pronunciation, and I go for a holistic approach of this. I try to touch every aspect rather than simply concentrating on speaking only. So I go for listening sessions also. I play some kind of audios so that they can listen to it. And whenever they find any kind of problems, so I'm always there.
Okay, that's a good because you totally teach about according to a student how the students wants to you.
Yeah, but not always, because sometimes they are pretty much into speaking. They simply say that I don't want to study grammar. So I make them realize that grammar is also important, because you might have heard number of people saying that yeah, grammar we
Yeah.
study, or this is something that we don't want to pay a lot of attention to. So those who are saying that we did not study too much grammar, we are capable of speaking. So they do not tell you that they are coming from an English speaking background, where they might have been to those schools, or they found that kind of environment in their home and other places. So people like us, because I'm from a government school, so I never got any kind of environment like this, so I can understand the kind of trauma that a student goes through, or the kind of problems that person faces. So on the basis of that, then we simply plan our lessons accordingly.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so I think now I don't have any single question in my mind. So if you have, so then you can ask me.
So you said that you teach spoken English. So
Of course.
what, like, how do you teach? Like, what is your first step? As you said that, as you asked me. So I know
Yes.
I want to ask the same kind of question. Now the ball is in your court.
Sure. As you mentioned me, you don't motivate the people, student.
No, I didn't say that I don't motivate them. I just listen to them first, because I try to speak in front of them. I try to speak in a manner which they want. Because when they see other people doing something, or when they see that learning environment, so they get motivated rather than giving some motivational session. Because nowadays everything is available on internet, and
Yeah,
motivation is
of course.
something we don't have to run after all the time, because it gives you feeling like a feeling of achievement. Most of the time when we are watching motivational videos, we are always in our beds. So if you get motivated, what are you going to do in your bed? So we need to
Yeah,
come
of course.
out, we need to have some ideas in our mind so that we can execute them.
Of course, I agree with your point. But if I talk about myself, what is my first step? Then the first step is that when anybody comes in my institute, they all are very nervous in the first time. They just thought like that, I cannot do this, and how can I do this? Because this is the first language of us, so it is not possible to me to speak. So my first work is that I have to motivate on that person, those types of people. No, you can do this because this is a language. So this is first step I just provide in my first class, and second I just focus on the speaking part. And if you talk about the grammar, so of course grammar is very necessary for covering the lots of things. Those people belongs to Hindi medium board, because if English medium board, they don't required a grammar. They always say that no need to grammar. But the reality is that because I also belong to UP board and Hindi medium board, then I cannot make any sentence with the help of the grammar, so without the help of grammar. So always I focus to grammar. Then I just took the activities like that, debate, speeches, lots of program I conduct on the time, and that things I follow.
I do have some students, those who are from English medium. It doesn't mean that, because if you are from English medium school, it doesn't mean that you do not, or so you are really good at grammar. Most of the time, they are not very good at grammar. It varies from one person to the other. So my approach is to understand their needs first, and try to make them understand what is required, or what are the practices that they need to follow, or the kind of material that I give to them. So I make sure that they study that back home, and whenever they are in the classroom, they are always indulging in those activities that I simply want them to. Because sometimes they are pretty much busy in scrolling Instagram and other applications. You know that nowadays everybody is using Instagram and other applications, so there is no harm in doing that. But if you give 1 hour to me, so I want to give quality time, or I want to give you something that you are coming for. So I make sure that they take part in activities like debate, discussions, and other things. But I don't start debates and discussions in the first class, because if they are not able to form sentences, so what is the need to make them speak? So first we need to give them at least a cushion so that they can feel comfortable and they can go about doing things later on.
Okay, of course, I am not saying I start the first class from the debate, but
Mhm.
that all are things I conduct after day by day, the alternate, whatever the requirement of the is needed. So on
Mhm.
that time, then I just conduct on that time. Because first priority is that how to learn. Was the first step of my how to learn. How can you improve yourself? And the last thing is that you have to always maintain where with things you are coming on for my days and how many days you are still now here, then I always contact on that people. No, you have to motivate yourself, because sometimes happen we have a lots of knowledge and we are unable to speak any single sentence in front of two people because of the hesitation of the crowd and lots of things happen. Then I have to motivate on that part time.
So I simply teach them two things. First is how to speak, and second is what to speak. How to speak is very necessary, like how to use sentences or how to use grammar, vocabulary, and everything. I can teach them how to speak, but what to speak, that comes by knowledge. So I tell
Of
them to
course.
go and get specific knowledge of specific subjects or some of the topics, and I try to give them topics which are current topics. Like once they are able to understand like basic English and they are able to communicate, so later on I try to give them topics like um, reservation and other kind of topics so that they can give their opinions, and I give them time. And sometime we go for extempore where I make them talk on different topics, so I give them 1 or 2 minutes so that they can convey their thoughts. And so whenever they make any kind of mistakes, so I am ready with my register and pen, so I keep writing those mistakes. And later on, then there is a very next day I give them feedback, individual feedback. So in this way they are able to perform well. So that's the pattern that I mostly follow. And when we go for listening, so I make them listen to certain audios, and later on I create a particular test sometime. So whatever they listen to in that audio, so later on they have to answer some of the questions which are related to that audio. So that helps them to understand things quickly. So that helps them to develop understanding for listening also. I do have some students, those who are preparing for IELTS, so I also help them in this way.
That's a good. As you mentioned, listening. So I would like to ask one question related to this. Everybody says to us, listening, reading, watching, and speaking. There is a four step we have to follow while learning speaking. So that is really necessary to us. Those
Yeah.
people who really want to learn English.
Let me give you an example. When you were a child, at that particular time, you learned Hindi without even going to the school. So you were able to understand that, you were able to communicate in Hindi. So how did it happen? Because of your surrounding. You listened to people in your childhood and then you were responding to those people. So same thing applies here. If you want to improve your communication skills, so that can happen by just listening and doing more practice like this. But if you want to speak in a very nice manner, or you want to know how to write and how to like I must say that read. So writing and reading, these are the two things that you need to work hard. So you need to work harder even, I must say that. So when you want to write well, so you need to read well. You need to speak, sorry, you need to read a lot of stuff. You need to understand grammar, vocabulary, and many more things. And people, those who are learning English through listening, so they are pretty much limited when it comes to writing well. So sometimes they are not able to do that. So there would be some people, those who would say that no, we are very good at writing without even studying grammar. So again, you are coming from English speaking background, or might be you have been in that kind of environment. But for a person who has never been to any kind of grammar classes or anything like this, who has recently started, so after a few months or might be a year, he would be able or she would be able to speak English impressively by just listening to some of the audios and videos. But when it comes to writing something, so sometimes they might face problems. So
Yeah,
all the things are important.
of course. But if I talk about myself, if anybody gives me any work, no, you have to read this thing and you have to cover yourself by the help of reading. Then I am unable to read. because I feel bored. I don't know why, how, and but I can. There's a lots of people just suggest no, you have to include these all our habits. So I this is my personal opinion. I don't want to suggest a reading parts because I don't like reading. That's why.
So
So
we should not think like this. If I am not very good at something, so it doesn't mean that I should let the people know that you should not do it. So even I should, being a teacher, I have to work on everything. Sometime as a teacher, we have to study something that we are not supposed to teach, because nobody can anybody can come from anywhere. Being a teacher, you never know what is there. Might be a question comes from a medical science, or question comes from the other field. So if you, I know that you might not be comfortable with science subject and other things, but when it comes to English, so English is everywhere. So these technical jargons which are used in medical, like a profession, or they are coming from law and other fields, so we might not be aware of those technicalities, but what about the grammar part? What about other parts? So reading is important, because reading lets you understand things quickly. And when you see words on regular basis, then you have clear and fairer idea of writing their right spellings, and plus you recall that particular thing quickly. Because if I do not read a lot, then how would I come across different vocabulary? Because whatever that I speak on daily basis, so I will be using the same kind of words which I'm very much comfortable with. And what about other words? So without writing those words, without reading those words, it would be very difficult to go for the next level.
yeah, of course, it's totally depend to person to person. Uh, if they are able to, then they could. But one question I would like to ask you, as I just look at to you, you are a perfectly perfect in a teaching, because I think this is your working. Yeah, yeah, another things you are doing in the side.
No, this is my only profession that I'm pretty much into. I enjoy teaching, so I'm full-time teacher now. I'm a full-time teacher, but I do give some time to my family and other things also.
Okay, so when didn't you teach? Then what was your aim? Do you want to become a teacher? Yeah, anything.
I have been saying the same kind of thing in every video. It has become a cliche now. So I must tell you that I never wanted to be a teacher. It might make you frown. But honestly speaking, this is something that I never wanted to do, because I was not very good at English to begin with. But later on, when I worked hard and I got certain positions in some of the top multinationals, so I was pretty much enjoying my profession. I was enjoying my job. So later on, I was pastored into coming to this profession. So later on, somebody pushed me to come to this profession. So when I came here, unwillingly, but I wanted to do something. So I always believe in one thing: if you like something, so you should dedicate yourself to that. So when I started enjoying teaching, so I dedicated myself to that. I did not look for any other option. Like I know it was not my will to come to this profession. I wasn't ready for that, but when I came to this profession, I did not start teaching. I took almost 4 or 5 months. I was working, but I was carrying my books, I was carrying other stuff, I was working on my communication skills plus grammar. I made my mind that I need to go and explore some new or unknown territories. So when I came to this profession, at least I was capable of speaking that much, so that the other person might get interested. So that's how the things started. And when I came to this profession, I started enjoying, and I'm still enjoying. So I'm a passionate teacher or learner. I must say that I'm a learner too.
Okay, okay. So I think is there any question do you have?
Like you said that you are running an institution where you teach spoken English. So how long have you been doing this, and
Mm,
where do you want to see yourself after a few years down the line?
uh, honestly, to be say, this is not my passion. Someone gave me a opportunity, then I just took it, and I have been teaching since 2021, last December. So I can we can count it to 2022.
Okay.
So I don't have much experience about this. I made a mistake a lot in my conversations and the speaking itself. I
It's
think you should
part of
notice. Yeah. So
part of learning.
that someone gave me an opportunity. I can explain very well. So that's I just took it this, but my aim is totally different. So I don't think so how much I achieve after upcoming time, because this is not my passion. But I open my YouTube channel also, so
Mhm.
I don't know where will go
So
that
you
thing.
started your YouTube channel. You started your journey. When did you start your YouTube journey?
I have been spent 1.5 year on YouTube, but I'm
I
not
spent.
punctual. Yes,
I have
I,
spent.
yes, I have spent, but I'm not punctual on
Mhm.
YouTube. But nowadays, I don't have any work to other than I
Mhm.
uploading a video day by day.
Yeah, I was quite the same. I was not quite regular with this stuff. So consistency matters the most when it comes to getting popularity on certain social media applications, especially YouTube. So even I have recently started uploading some of the videos like this. You can even count those videos on your fingertips. I did not upload so many videos of conversation, but I'm getting good response. So I hope whatever that I'm doing, that is going to help people in certain ways. So that's why I started something like this, so that the people, those who are not able to reach to me, so they can reach through these videos. And soon we are going to start an institute in Kanpur also, because one of my
Ah, wow.
students one of my
That's so good.
students one of my students is going to start an institute there, so I am helping him right now. He is under my wings, so very soon he'll start an institute there, an offline one, and I might
That's
give
so
some
good.
online classes there also.
Okay, so what is the location in Kanpur?
Honestly speaking, I don't know much about it because he's in Kanpur right now. I don't know where he lives. So soon, because right now, let me play my cards close to my chest. So very soon I'll
Okay.
simply put those cards on the table. So there are certain other plans. Might be in future we'll be doing a lot of stuffs like this. So have you
So
got any
why do
other
you not?
questions? Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm asking to you, why do you not upload the videos about your class?
Yeah, I've recently uploaded some of the videos, and before talking to you, I was at my home, and I do have classes at weekends. So some of the students were talking, so I took my phone out and started shooting them. I did not let them know. I said that I'm just making a video so that later on I can share with you. They did not know that, but there was a conversation going on. So they had a group discussion where they were discussing about offline and online shopping. So after this video, you can go ahead and check that.
Sure. Okay.
So I think we should wrap it up now. It's lovely talking to you. So hope to see you
Same
again
to you.
soon.
Sure.
So
But as
take
you
care.
mentioned me, you are coming to Kanpur, so of course we will meet soon.
I don't know whether I would be there or not because I'll be pretty much in Delhi, and my students, as I said, one of my students is going to start an institution, so I might give some classes online there. So let's see
Okay.
what happens in future. Nobody
Of
knows.
course. Uh,
So thanks a lot. Thank you very much indeed. So we'll definitely reconnect. Till
sure.
then, take care. Bye for
Okay.
now.
Have a good
You
time.
too. You too.